This isn't my normal witchy content. I'm seeing Talk of Sudan go across my feed a lot, and this is something that I've been very interested in and passionate about for the last 20 years. So if you're not interested in that, you can go. Whenever the topic of documentaries comes up, the most powerful one that I've mentioned before on my page is called The Devil Came on Horseback. It came out in the early 2000s. That was a documentary that affected me so deeply and has stuck with me ever since. The conflict in Darfur between the Janjaweed and the SAF, which was the Sudanese army. In the early 2000s, when the conflict was happening in Sudan, in Darfur, the UAE had no involvement in it at all. So when I see that people are, blaming this all on the UAE, it is not, they are not the cause. They are now just funding it. It is also not a religious war at all. Christians love to, uplift martyrs and claim oppression, but it is not. There are a small faction of Christians in Sudan, but the majority of the population, including those who are being targeted, are Muslim. Part of it, what it really is, it is a war for power, and it is an ethnic war, regardless of who is what religion. It's an incredibly complicated topic, so I'll try and explain it in a way that makes sense to Westerners. First of all, what is the RSF? The RSF is the second generation of the Janjaweed, or a paramilitary group that the president of Sudan enlisted to kind of assist the military, which is the SAF. So in American terms, imagine this like ICE and the military. Sudanese government, with both of these fighting units, wanted to ethnically cleanse certain groups, many of which were also Muslim. The most complicated thing, I think, for Westerners to understand is how in Sudan they identify as Arabs. It is not in the Middle Eastern way that we kind of imagine it. When we see the videos coming out of Sudan, it looks like, people killing people that look like themselves. A lot of cases, it is not light-skinned brown people going and killing dark-skinned black people. In some cases, yes, it's a complicated mix of ethnicity and genetic links, but it's more like a class system. Sudan Arab doesn't mean from the Arabian Peninsula. It means a community and a type of people who have adopted Arabic language and Arabic culture and Islam as their religion, but claim descent from Arabic ancestors. Then there's the Africans. The people, they could be Christian, they could be Muslim, they speak non-Arabic languages. Africans are the ones who identify themselves as the indigenous, originally from the Darfur, Sudan region. It would be like the Fur tribes, the Mozalites, the Gawa. They have the cultural roots and the belief systems that predate the kind of Arabic influx into the area. We're in America. Imagine that the RSF and the SAF and the people who are trying to stamp out these other groups, they claim English descent, right? They're the elite people, that they've adopted the culture, the language, the religion. They claim that their ancestors come from there. Yet you've got other Americans who look the same and have the same religion maybe, but they are the other ethnicities. They are the poor white people. They are the lesser, according to the English. Speaking of the English, we can actually kind of blame them for this whole mess in the first place, because while they didn't actually colonize Sudan, Egypt did, but then when Britain colonized Egypt, it kind of by default became in charge of Sudan. And what they did was they categorized the Arab Muslims as like the civilized people. The African tribes were the kind of like barbaric pagans. Back to the RSF and the SAF. These were both the same, belonging to the same government, separate units, both with the purpose to ethnically cleanse the other. At one point in the late 2010s, the RSF and the SAF decided, you know what, let's overthrow the government and take control of it ourselves. And we'll promise the people of Sudan that we will turn the country over for their own civilian government. They overthrow the president. For the next couple of years, they work together, but then the SAF's like, maybe no, maybe we're not going to turn over anything. This is why they're clashing now. And while these two groups are fighting, they are still ethnically cleansing all the people in between. UAE gets involved and they start backing the RSF because by backing the RSF, they can get access to the gold and other resources. I'm seeing a lot of conversations online about like boycotting the UAE. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Boycotting the UAE, do it absolutely, but it's not going to do anything. It is not going to do anything financially for them. What is America doing about it? Also nothing. Put the sanctions on Sudan, and it's no, they don't care. Nobody cares. Especially with the RSF, which used to be just a few thousand soldiers, and now their army is up to like 100,000, maybe more, and they are all backed by the UAE, which has like oceans of money. So they don't care about the sanctions. All these two former government, fighting groups war with each other. There are innocent Africans, according to them, in these certain tribes that they are eliminating. Refugees have nowhere to go. I mean, they in years past, and this has been going on for many, many years. I've been aware of it again, 20 years. But the refugees, they try to go to Egypt, they try to go to Chad, but like they're overrun. Egypt, I don't even think is taking them anymore. And Chad, I think, is just so overwhelmed with refugees. There's nowhere for anyone to go. They're just sitting ducks in the middle of this horrific war. And the thing is, and I hate to say this, there's nothing we can do. Boots on the ground, there is nothing we can do. And America is not going to step in especially because the UAE is involved. 20 years, I have donated money to the humanitarian groups. They go in and help the people of Darfur and in Sudan, and they can't even get through now. They can't get through. What might help is continuing to talk about it and continuing to shed light on it, especially because the EU is very, very focused on their image and their identity. I want the world to think that they are safe and they are modern and they are, friendly to businesses. So if Westerners start associating Dubai and Abu Dhabi with war crimes, which is exactly what is happening there, they may pull back some of their funding. Maybe they would agree with some other countries and groups to try and do something to resolve the conflict. Problem is that even if you can get the RSF and the SAF to stop fighting, that is not going to help the people that they see as vermin and other and slaves. I don't know. For 20 years, I've tried to figure out how this is going to solve itself. I don't know. Soldiers, the men that they enlist in the fighting, they don't see these people as human. I don't mean to be bleak about it. It's been bleak for a long time. And if you want me to talk about it more, I will. I would love to, because again, very, very passionate about this conflict and what is going on and these people. The more we know about it and the more we talk about it and the more we bring attention to it, the better.